In this video, find out how A Bug's Life is actually way more important than you would think in terms of the Pixar theory. So important that it actually introduces us to another plane of reality in the Pixar universe. This is the series where I rebuild the Pixar theory from the ground up, and in this video I'll be covering everything that Pixar released between 1998 to 1999. That being Jerry's Game, A Bug's Life, and Toy Story 2. If you missed the last video, we determined that these three Pixar shorts are fictional media within the universe of Toy Story. And that's basically it. We established that this is a universe where inanimate objects are able to take on human-like qualities. And now we are in the year 1998 where Pixar released their first short after Toy Story, Jerry's Game. Jerry's Game was the short that played before A Bug's Life in theaters. We can place this in our timeline right away because Jerry is actually the toy repairman that Al hires in Toy Story 2 to fix Woody. Besides that, the only Easter egg in this one is a reference to Pixar itself, where you can see that on the box of chess pieces, it's labeled Pixar Shorts. So that's our first clue, that within this Pixar universe, Pixar exists as a movie studio, just like it does in our world. And I know that can be a little bit confusing, but that information isn't relevant just yet, and won't really matter until we get to Cars. Now on to the main topic of this video, A Bug's Life, and subsequently Toy Story 2. I'll be talking about these two at the same time because Toy Story 2 shows us how A Bug's Life fits in. Obviously, we can put Toy Story 2 in our timeline because it's a sequel to Toy Story and it's supposed to take place in the same universe. A Bug's Life, on the other hand, really complicates things. You would think that with this movie being on such a small scale, it wouldn't have any problem connecting to Toy Story. And it certainly does, just not the way you think. In multiple scenes during Toy Story 2, we can see merchandise for A Bug's Life. Whether it be the book Mrs. Potato Head is reading, the calendar on Andy's wall, or even A Bug's Life toys in Al's toy barn. So you would think that this is simply a movie within the universe of Toy Story, and we can place this in our secondary timeline. This is what we established in the last video as being media within the universe of Pixar, whereas the primary timeline consists of actual events. Even in the director's commentary for Toy Story 2, it was said that they had planned on doing advertisements for A Bug's Life that implied it being an in-universe movie to Toy Story. However, there's just one minor issue. One Easter egg that makes this way more complicated than it should be. Heimlich from A Bug's Life makes a brief appearance when Buzz is chopping through the branches and the toys are making their way to Al's toy barn. And the issue with this is that this can't be an in-universe movie if a character from A Bug's Life actually shows up. Then, on the other hand, it can't be real, and this definitely has to be just a movie, because in the book that Mrs. Potato Head is reading, it's actually describing the events of A Bug's Life. And even jumping ahead to Monsters Inc., which I'll cover in the next video, we can see the same trailer that we see in A Bug's Life with the Pizza Planet truck parked beside it. So this is another contradiction to this being a fictional movie. This clearly isn't adding up, but don't worry, because I've figured out the solution to this. In my last video, I brought up the point that this is a universe of CGI characters, so any media within this universe that is also CGI would be their equivalent of live action. So just like how I discussed in that video that the original Pixar shorts, for example Tin Toy, is actually a fictional story created for TV but filmed in live action using real toy actors. Because this is a universe where toys have the ability to come to life. So what if that's actually what's going on in A Bug's Life as well? Ants and other bugs in this universe are highly intelligent and able to become actors. And these bugs are starring in the fictional movie A Bug's Life. This explains the merchandising while also making sense of why Heimlich appears in Toy Story 2. Whether this is supposed to be Heimlich himself or just a coincidentally identical caterpillar, it still remains true that this is what a caterpillar looks like within this universe. And you would think that the theory stops here, and to be honest, it probably should. I've connected A Bug's Life to Toy Story and added it into our new Pixar timeline. But this isn't as simple as you think. Introduce the Pixar blooper reels. This was a tradition that was started in A Bug's Life, and they stopped including these in their movies after Monsters Inc. This was where they animated blooper reels as if this was a live action movie, and as we determined, A Bug's Life is a film made with bug actors. So there isn't a problem there. This actually makes the blooper reels and the character interviews for A Bug's Life canon to the Pixar universe. A Sheriff Woody doll actually appears during the A Bug's Life bloopers, which further proves my point that toys are able to act in and even direct movies. The problem is when we get to Toy Story 2. Because this movie was given a blooper reel as well, although this isn't a fictional film like A Bug's Life is. So while the blooper reel for A Bug's Life fits into our primary timeline, The Toy Story 2 bloopers fit into a brand new timeline that is above even our primary timeline. So let me explain this the best I can. This is our reality, aka the real world. Within our world, Pixar is an animation studio that makes movies. Then, on our next tier of reality, we have the universe where the Toy Story 2 bloopers are taking place. And also, as we'll discuss in the next video, the bloopers for Monsters Inc. And in this blooper universe, the movies that we are seeing are actually filmed by Pixar employees and acted out by real actors. And this fictional version of Pixar created an interconnected universe of movies which we know as the primary timeline. Even though not every Pixar movie has a blooper reel, we could assume that behind the scenes of most Pixar movies, there are actors that are starring in these films, with A Bug's Life being an exception since it's an in-universe movie. But then, you may wonder, if A Bug's Life is taking place in the primary timeline, and the bloopers for Toy Story 2 are taking place in a tier above that, then why do Flick and Heimlich appear in the bloopers for Toy Story 2? To help you best understand this, I'll use a movie like Lightyear for an example. In our world, Lightyear was made by Pixar and was intended to be an in-universe film to Toy Story. So the actors in this movie are real people within the Pixar universe. So essentially the movie was made both in our world as well as in the Pixar world. That's what's going on here. A Bug's Life is a movie within a movie within a movie. If you're a little confused by that, I don't blame you. But don't worry, because after Monsters Inc., Pixar stopped including bloopers in their movies. And after that, the blooper universe pretty much becomes irrelevant. Just know that every Pixar movie you are watching was actually recorded with real actors in a universe where all Pixar characters can interact with each other and none of the rules of the Pixar timeline apply. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't seen part 1 yet, you should go watch that video. Thanks for watching, and bye!